And go ahead. Canola oil, not vegetable oil. Why not vegetable oil, Reid?
If you put vegetable oil on and the grill is too hot, it can cook to the grill and make it worse.
So what are we doing, Reid?
Put a little bit of oil down just to give you something to help pick up the particles you're going to be scraping. And we're spreading it pretty evenly just to give us a nice even oil surface across the top. And we need just a little bit more.
And just to clarify, this grill is hot and we're cleaning it.
Yes. There we go.
This is the third of 3 passes, starting with oil and then using the scrub brick.
So you can see right here, let me get some paper towels and scrape this off so you can see. The last time I cleaned this grill was about a year and a half ago, and if you let the oil dry too quickly, it'll leave these permanent spot marks on the grill. So it's important to work fast while you're doing this.
Okay, good to know.
Also, the oil heats up really quickly, so be careful when you get in the corners because it can splash back and get on your arms and burn you.
Okay.
So if you get a little bit of extra oil, down into the grease trap.
So you're drawing the oil into the grease trap right now.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just getting into there.
And then once you get going for a bit, the bottom of your brick is going to get really flat and it's not going to scrape very well. So it's important to take something like some steel wool or a steel brush to resurface your brick so that way it will keep pulling stuff as you go. The flakes that come off this are going to be really hot also, so try and avoid getting as many on them on your skin as possible.
Gotcha. Could someone do this with oven mitts or something, or with if they were a little concerned about being burned?
They could, yeah. It'd just be really hard to actually handle the brick. It requires a lot of dexterity.
Sure, sure.
Especially when you're trying to go really quick. All right, and let's scrape it and see what we're working with here.
So this is the third pass, and then you come back with and wipe up the remaining stuff with paper towels?
Yes. Wanted to make sure that you can keep a good eye on how clean you're actually getting it while you're going. And it's always going to be a little bit dirty around the edges because the brick just can't get in these corners.
Sure.
You could really, if you were really dedicated, come back through a steel bowl and hit the corners.
But it's not as important?
Not as important. The biggest thing is to do that maybe just once a year, do the corners real well.
Sure.
And you want
just
to
getting the main surface.
Yeah. And even though this looks pretty clean, there's still a lot of metal flakes on the surface with that char brick. So we need to go back through with just oil and paper towels. This time you'll see how dirty it is once we start wiping it up again.
So this is what you should do ideally every time you use the grill. Is there a way to clean it if you could you do this weekly, or is this something that needs to really be done every single time?
It pretty well just needs to be done every time that the grill is used heavily. If someone just throws a hot dog on here, you're probably okay.
Yeah.
But every time that you're doing a lot of food, it would be a really good idea to do this.
What can happen to the grill if you don't clean it?
If you don't clean it, it can build up really bad rust and oil in it. and it can seep into the food, and it can like really contaminate your food in a bad way.
Gotcha.
And to prevent rust when we're finished, which we'll be through here in just a second, we're going to put the lightest of oil level layer of oil on the top, just to keep it from developing new rust.
So you're just getting the rest of the what's left here.
Yeah.
Can you do this with cloth towels, or is it only, would you just advise paper towels?
Probably just paper towels. You could use cloth ones, but you're going to have to wash them pretty frequently, and you're going to need to make sure you use only ones for this job, because it will ruin them for anything else.
Gotcha.
And no matter what, don't use any chemical. Don't like use a Clorox wipe on the surface or anything like that, because it will release some weird fumes that you're going to breathe in, and also it can make food taste funny. It maybe even be toxic.
Gotcha.
And we should be pretty clean. So we're going to put just a little bit of clean oil on the top and spread it around with a clean paper towel.
Gotcha. Again, using canola oil. What other oils are okay? You said not vegetable oil.
Not vegetable. You really can use anything else. Canola is really the best because it has the least amount of flavor to it.
Yeah.
So it won't get in food.
So you want a neutral flavored oil, not vegetable oil, because it cakes on really easily. So,
yes.
Okay.
If you can use olive oil, you can use peanut oil. It just tastes weird on some foods.
And peanut oil might be an allergy concern.
Oh yes, don't use that one, definitely. Okay.
Gotcha.
And that's pretty well done. And all that's left is just to clean out the grease trap, which is not been cleaned out in a long time.
Oh my.
Okay.
Get a good look at that.
Yeah. That's
tasty. Here, let me, how can I help you, Reid?
Let's see. This isn't too hot. It's gonna have to go to the sink.
Sure. Okay. Here, why don't we hold it over the trash can and you can pull it out, and then we'll just.
Okay. Also, this will be pretty warm most of the time. Can you give me a little more? Right now, it's probably sitting at about 80 degrees. Okay, I'm gonna sit on top and grab the other end. So be careful when you're doing this after you finish cooking, because it'll be a lot harder than it is right now.
Gotcha.
And it needs to be done way more often than how often it's been done. Ideally do this every time you cook any large thing on it.
Sure. And you can just put this down the sink?
As long as you're sure to use tons of hot water to keep it moving.
So lots of hot water. What happens if you don't use hot water?
You can clog the sink up really bad. Oil naturally wants to congeal and hold together, and when you make it hot, it moves faster and easier.
But then it might hit cold water down in the sewer and form a blockage.
Yeah, if you let it just do cold on water, it'll eventually clog up somewhere.
Gotcha.
So use as much hot as possible and use way more than you think you need, so that way it just keeps moving.
Gotcha, because it's a big plumbing problem, I'm assuming, if it does, if you do have a problem. Gotcha. Again, there's some chunks in there.
Someone's leftover hamburger.
Yeah, it's actually probably my doing. There's a very good chance.
All right, that's pretty hot.
Woo!
And now there are chunks of food in here too. We're going to want to pick all of those up because they are not going to go down as easily.
Put it down there, garbage disposal.
I don't want to go through that because it might go up disposal.
Gotcha. Okay. Because they're pretty greasy. Smells like cheese.
It looks like cheese.
It's like an oil spill.
Yeah, don't drop a match in here, please.
Yeah. grease trap. So is there anything else to be done with the grill other than that?
The grill itself is finished. We're just going to scrape this out, use a lot of dish soap in it, make sure it's clean, and then
Yeah.
we're done.
Good. Use dish soap. It's your friend. All right. Well, thank you, Reid. That's very informational.